They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let's we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want you.
Come on, hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Following the recent reconstitution of the Board of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasonye has taken over the reins as the fourth substantive chairman of the commission. Today on the program, we shall focus on his background, vision for the ICPC, and how he intends to achieve that. Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am Hawa Garba. Also today, we have anti-corruption stories, ethics and values, drama, and more. First, let's join Ruth Awodi with anti-corruption stories. Over to you, Ruth.
Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. I am Ruth Awodi. A former staff of the Abuja Geographic Information Systems, Aegis, Mr. Mark Eguma, and a businessman, Mr. Emmanuel Madubueze, have been jailed for 11 years over a 7 million naira fraud. The duo charged before Justice A. Otaluka of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Apo, Abuja, by ICPC were found guilty on the 6-count charge filed against them. The commission had accused them of committing the offense in 2015 by cloning title documents for a plot of land in Guzape district of Abuja and using same to defraud one Mr. Tobechukwu Obiechina of 7 million naira. Counsel to the two convicts, Charles Ohemu and O. Okopujie, pleaded with the court to be lenient with their clients. The counsel claimed that they were both first-time offenders, were on record as good family men as well as being fathers to very young children. They added that the trial judge should show leniency, more so as their clients had displayed utmost remorse by paying back the 7 million naira to the victim of the crime. The court, however, discharged and acquitted one of the accused persons, Mohammed Sani Auta, saying that his role of helping to secure a buyer for the land was done without him knowing that the title documents were forged. Justice Otaluka, in her ruling, observed that the duo willfully committed the crime and therefore would face appropriate sanctions dictated by the law. She therefore sentenced Madubueze Emmanuel to 4 years imprisonment with an option of fine of 250,000 naira on counts 1 to 4, while he will serve 2 years imprisonment on counts 5 and 6 without option of fine. Furthermore, Eguma Mark was sentenced to 4 years imprisonment with an option of fine of 200,000 naira on counts 1 to 4 and 6 months each on counts 5 and 6. All the sentences will run concurrently. A former regional manager of EcoBank Nigeria PLC, Mr. Bashiru Babagana, has admitted before a federal high court in Abuja that he paid $360,000 for 3 plots of land in cash to the former executive director of ASO Savings and Loans PLC, Ms. Maimuna Aliyu. Babagana, who left EcoBank in 2017, was called by ICPC to testify against Aliyu, who the commission charged to court for allegedly defrauding the bank of $360,000. Testifying before Honorable Justice N. Dimba, Babagana told the court that Aliyu in 2012 informed him that her bank had 3 plots of land measuring 2,500 square meters at Jahi District, Abuja, for sale at the cost of 57 million naira. Led in evidence by prosecution counsel Ekoi Akponimi-Singa, Babagana said that a client, Vincent Mshilia, provided the $360,000 for the purchase of the property, which he handed to Aliyu in cash in her office, in exchange for the original title documents of the land. He further told the court how his client, who went to the Abuja Geographic Information Systems (AGIS) in 2014 for the Certificate of Ownership (CFO), was asked to go back to ASO Savings for some documents vital to the transaction. However, on getting to ASO Savings, it was revealed that Maimuna Aliyu never remitted the proceeds of the sale of the land to the bank. The judge then adjourned the matter for continuation of trial after Babagana was also cross-examined by the defense counsel. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues.
Corruption not in my country.
This CV is for Eugenia here. She's here for the vacancy. See to the CV and she got the job.
Could you please wait for me at the reception? But sir,
Yes.
she studied physical and health education.
Yes.
We already shortlisted 3 qualified candidates for the job. They all studied accounting. With all due respect, sir, we need qualified people in the accounts department. People who are good with figures.
How do you know that she does not understand what figures are?
But why do we need a square peg in a round hole?
What is important here is to fill in the vacancy. Anyhow, I will take.
I can't be a part of this. That is a language of corruption. And corruption, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
If you are just tuning in, this is Corruption Must Go. Following his confirmation by the Nigerian Senate, Professor Owasonye was recently sworn in at the council chamber of the presidential villa by President Muhammadu Buhari. Also inaugurated were 8 others as members of the ICPC board. They are Grace Chinda, Okolo Titus Obiora Igwe Dibia, Olubukola Balogun, and Justice Adamu Bello. Others are Annatu Muhammad, Abdullahi Saidu, and Yahaya Dauda. While administering the oath of office on them, President Buhari noted that unbridled corruption has inflicted serious damage on our quest for national development, and therefore tasked the new board to assist government sanitize the public sector of all forms of corruption. Addressing the newly inaugurated board and management of ICPC shortly after the inauguration at the Commission's headquarters, the new ICPC chairman noted that expectations were high on them and therefore warned that they must not be used as a tool to compromise the system.
The expectation of performance is very high. I don't know if you all read the newspapers the way that I do. I know that since our names were announced, there have been at least 2 editorials done by Punch newspaper, there could be more. And several other newspapers have expressed high optimism. And for some of them that I know have access to, I've asked them why they are expecting magic to happen because of there's a new board. So the expectation is very high. And one of the things that I like to do is also to manage expectation, but manage in the context of meeting the expectation. The expectation is very high that we will not fail, that we will perform, and that the new board for ICPC under President Buhari will be able to walk the talk. Now that means for us members a lot of work. The first being that charity begins from home for ourselves, about what we do, how we conduct ourselves, because it's very different now. And when I say very different, I mean very different. I mean very, very different. So when I say that we must watch ourselves like Caesar's wife, the above board, and first of all talking to those of us on this side and then to those on the left, so that we defect from today. If there was anything that we were doing before that somebody could latch onto just to embarrass us or embarrass the institution or embarrass the government, you just have to change it. I don't know what that is. I'm talking to myself too. Second thing to say is to be careful about having us used as conduit pipe to compromise processes in this place. I've heard tons of things about what goes on here. Whether real or imagined, I don't know. Whether true or false, I don't know. But clearly, people will try to use us as channels to compromise the process. Let me encourage you to discourage them. And the way to do it is to start from now. To start from now. Say, sorry, I can't do it. As I said to them at the screening, maybe you had all stepped out when I was asked some very sensitive and controversial questions. The law, following the law, is the safest thing to do. Once the law allows you to do what you're doing, it is the law that defends you. That law will also protect you when somebody complains. In the same vein, it is the law that justifies your actions.
Corruption not in my country.
Yeah, relax. That is my brother and I want him out of this station now.
We have proceed.
Okay. Can I just see the IPO of this case? IPO, how are you?
No, welcome, sir.
That is my brother and I want him out of this station now.
Do you know the offense he has committed, sir?
What do you guys want for your weekend? Okay, let me see your DPO.
This way, sir.
Oh, better. You don't know who is here. That boy is my brother. And I want you to assist me to free him.
The man found in the gun, confessed to robbery.
Things like this happen. 200,000 naira for you.
Are you bribing me?
500,000 naira.
Robbery suspect?
1 million naira.
That is corruption. Not allowed in this division.
1 million.
Remember, police is your friend. Giving and taking bribe is wrong.
Corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Until his recent appointment to ICPC, Professor Owasawonye was the Executive Secretary of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, PACAC. He tells us his vision and plans for the commission.
Well, first let me refer to what the president meant. The president was referring to the very broad scope of the legislation, which allows us to enforce, to impose sanctions, to take preventive measures by evaluating MDAs, to do risk assessment, the law enables us to engage with the society and to recommend sustainability measures. And I think that the president is quite right that this very robust legal framework gives us latitude to be able to make an impact. In line with Mr. President's vision too, and in accordance with our statutory mandate, we intend to apply each of those components of the ICPC legislation. In other words, we will work on sanctions and enforcement where it's deserving. We will, as they say, because prevention is better than cure, we will use very, very robustly and very widely the prevention mandate of the Commission through its law by trying to get MDAs to comply to some of the principles, policies, and legislations that are designed to breach and to prevent corruption. And of course, if there is resistance, then we will use the sanction component of our powers to make sure that there is compliance. And then, of course, we will engage with society, especially by working very robustly with civil society. We'll engage with and through them to get the public involved in this conversation. Because at the end of the day, the anti-corruption conversation belongs to the public. If they are apathetical to fighting corruption, we can't succeed. We can't succeed. So we need to get the public in support of this affair. Then, of course, as we said, we will recommend corrective measures based on best practices, research, evidence-based, that can help to sustain anti-corruption attitudes and improving standards in terms of ethics for public servants and all that. Now, in terms of vision for the Commission itself, we will provide leadership. We are already adopting a strategic plan, which will be on board in the next month maximum. We will motivate the staff, but we will also punish infractions. We will apply the rules very fairly because it is the rules that justify our actions, and it is the rule that also defend us against accusation of abuse. So we will apply the rules very fairly. We will escalate, certainly, the potential of ICPC to meet the vision of the country to help diminish corruption. That means we intend to upscale the number of prosecutions, the activities around prevention mandate, engagement with the society itself. We will try and increase the tempo. We will make the ICPC to be a bit more visible than it had been in the past, not just by media propaganda, but actually by doing our work as best as we can. And of course, we will be looking forward to the collaboration of the society, of those we have to work with, of the civil society as well. So we will identify talents in our midst and people who should be encouraged. So basically, the board is determined to use a carrot and stick approach. We're not going to just follow routine because people have an entitlement mentality. They think they are going to get things. No, it's not going to happen. You've got to make your contribution. It's got to be very clear, and we'll be very happy to reward that sort of thing. And if people breach the rules, we will apply the regulations as they are presently designed.
Thank you very much. Very
Pleasure.
well. You've said quite a lot, sir. Thank you. How do you intend to achieve all what you've stated, sir?
Well, we'll first of all, we are already evaluating the capacity strength of the Commission to meet its mandate across board. We're already talking to partners who can assist us to improve on the capacity, improve on the infrastructure. We will make effort to improve on the revenue of government by blocking loopholes, and we hope through that to be able to improve the budgetary allocation to ICPC so that we can do more than we're doing at the moment. we are already trying to set standards for the staff to change attitude, the inertia and lethargy. We just have to get rid of. I think that people need to be a bit more proactive, and we found that the capacity to do things is right here. People have the capacity, they have the knowledge. It can be improved upon, it can be brushed up, it can be upscaled to modern things and all that. But there's no doubt that what we need to do better than we're doing at the moment is available here. So we intend to enhance and channel that resource appropriately so that we can get some results. We're also looking at ways by which we can improve on the skills by closing knowledge gap in certain emergent areas. So for example, we'll explore the possibility of exchange programs whereby people can learn from other institutions and those institutions can learn from us. We have the board met and we've introduced some kind of reward scheme which is being discussed and fine-tuned to identify people who can be celebrated because they are doing their work. I mean, some people are moaners and complainers. They are always seeing problems, not prospects. Some people see prospect, whatever the situation, and they prove it and show it. We intend to identify and showcase such people in the hope that they will be examples to other people. We're also looking very strongly and closely at improving the work environment as best as we can within the limited resources that we have. And finally, of course, is that we are striving very hard as a board to diminish waste. We want to be prudent with resources. We will ensure that the state and zonal offices do much more. So things that can be done by the state and zonal offices will simply not allow people to pretend that they are going to do what somebody who's already there can do. So that way we will minimize waste, we will save money which can go back into operations, and hopefully we'll use that to upscale our work.
Oh, very well done. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Professor Owasaonye now takes over as the fourth substantive chairman of the commission after late Justice Mustapha Akombi, Justice Emmanuel Ayola and Mr. Ekbo Nta, respectively. That's our package on this week's edition. Remember, you can make inquiries and suggestions via our toll-free numbers as shown on the screen. You can also watch the program on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. I'm Hawa Garba, saying bye for now.